Greetings, adventurers. This is Lauren, your guild advisor, and let's see if I remember how to make a video. So it's been quite a while. Probably I guess as I'm recording this, it's September, very early. So like 7 to 8 months since my last video, which was that over an hour long 4K resolution review of DanMachi Volume 18, and that took. Producing that video was a lot of work and took more time than it probably should have, but that's just how I challenged myself, what I wanted to do with the multiple camera angles and everything. But since then, I have not made a video, and there's been a bunch of DanMachi stuff going on. More specifically, Season 5 is happening next season in the fall. I don't remember if there was an exact date that was stated yet. But before talking about Season 5 and all that other stuff, let's just talk about what's going on with me. Me making this video is to inform you guys about the channel, and at the same time, it's a video I'm making for myself so I can actually get this stuff out there and in a way move on with what I'm going to be doing with the channel from now on. Now, as I've stated before, it's been a long time since I made a video, and in that time, August actually, I turned 30 years old, and the big three in front of the age has made me feel old, even though there are probably a lot of people out there that are going, 30, that's not old yet, but in some ways I can definitely feel it, and that's kind of what I want to be talking about. At this point, it really feels like I've had the channel forever, but the content really didn't start ramping up until the release of the DanMachi mobile game, the first one that came to the West, at least, DanMachi Memoria Freze. And shortly after that, DanMachi Season 2 happened, and that's when I made a ton of content, all the way up until DanMachi Season 4, where I went absolutely crazy with the videos I was making in terms of the scope, doing those weekly cuts and changes videos. I was doing a new type of job in real life where I would usually be working 6 days a week, sometimes 10 days in a row. A lot of the times there would be overtime involved. I would basically get done from that job and then immediately work on Season 4 stuff. And that was my life like during Season 4. And that took a lot out of me. I think I've addressed that before. And as we head into Season 5, there are probably a lot of questions as to whether or not I would be doing that again. And as I said, with me turning 30 and me kind of not really making that much content at all on this channel, I just want to get it out there and say I'm not going to be doing that again. I'm not sure how many videos I'm going to be making, period, when it comes to this channel. Because I really need to focus on other things besides this channel, which is my hobby, and I really just want to live my life, I guess. And if I make videos, it's going to be like spur of the moment stuff. Like Season 5 is going to be happening. Like if there's something really crazy going on, I might want to talk about it. There are particular scenes I'm thinking of that involve Ryu, of course, because she's my favorite character, that I might want to talk about if they do a great job with the anime. I do have some mixed feelings on how the anime adaptation is going to go. I'll get into that a little bit later. But again, I just want to clarify that in terms of this channel, there's going to be not much content going on. Anything that I will release on this channel, again, is going to be spur of the moment stuff. If I really feel the urge to make a video. So if you really do want to get your DanMachi fix, I recommend checking out Gale Riot's channel. I'll put that in the description. He's a different level in terms of content production, especially if you are engaged with the newer DanMachi mobile game, DanMachi Battle Chronicle, or Dancro. He makes content about that a lot, and of course all the other DanMachi related stuff like the novels and also the upcoming console game release. So check his videos out if you need that DanMachi fix. So again, I just want to get this off my chest, get that weight off my shoulders. Like, I've barely even read any of the recent DanMachi release, Volume 19, because there is that weird part of me that's like, I can't even read this right now because I'm in that weird state where like I need to decide what to do with the channel. Am I going to be making reviews? Am I going to be doing stuff like that? So I haven't been able to read this novel yet because the way I've been doing novel reviews and stuff, for example, I read a page and then type down a bunch of notes, read a page, type down a bunch of notes. So I can't I can't read this while I'm trying to decide what to do with the channel. So now finally get that out of the way. I can just read this and enjoy it as a fan without even needing to think of, oh, I need to talk about this in the video critically. Now I can just read it, and if I feel the urge to talk about it, then I'll just put up like a more of a stream of consciousness type of video where I don't really make an outline or anything. I'll just talk about it if I do want to do something like that. And the same thing for the anime as well. And when it comes to the channel up to this point, guys, I really do appreciate all of you that have followed me along the years, whether it was through like the initial DanMachi Memoria Freze stuff, or when I started doing DanMachi anime commentary and all the cuts and changes videos and all that, especially with season 4. I really do appreciate all the support and all the views you've given me. One of my more favorite things that I see out of my channel is when people like see the light novel to anime comparisons and they say they actually picked up the light novel and now it's one of their favorite series. Those are the types of comments I love seeing the most because, again, this channel is really like, it's so focused on DanMachi and me like just spreading my appreciation and love for the series. So to see other people get as invested as I am is really cool to see. And I do hope you guys remain invested in the series. Like, I'm still going to be invested in the series. I got quite the shelf over here. It's not like, oh guys, I'm tired of DanMachi now, I don't want to make content, I'm done. Like, I still love the series. I still might make videos depending on the mood, but again, they're not going to be regular. But now, very quickly, I just want to yap a tiny bit about DanMachi because, again, it's been a while since I've talked about it. So season 5 coming very soon. I said I had like some mixed feelings about it, and a lot of it has to do with like two things, I guess. How the anime adaptation's going to go, and to a lesser extent, the arc in general. Like, during my volume 18 review, like, I kind of mentioned that by the end of this arc, I was kind of just ready for it to end, not necessarily because I didn't enjoy it. There are a lot of parts in there that are very enjoyable for me, like Ryu-centric stuff, but also like a lot of cool battles as well. It's just with this arc in particular, I am kind of worried of how the anime is going to present the main antagonist mindset and their motivations for what they're doing. Because with season 4, like I think season 4 is going to remain the best adaptation, and a lot of that has to do with like they had a lot of things going in their favor. They actually had an appropriate amount of episodes for the content that they were covering. We don't know how many episodes season 5 is going to be yet, but since it is slightly longer than the novels that were covered in season 4, it wouldn't make any sense for it not to be at least 20 episodes, because if it wasn't, the adaptation is going to be in bad shape. So hopefully it is 20 plus episodes. But we have no official episode count as of this video quite yet. And I think season 4 just has a more straightforward plot, so it's easier to follow, it's easier to understand what's going on. With season 5, a lot of it is going to hinge on whether or not you buy into the antagonist motives for what's going on. And also there's going to be a lot of focus on Bell himself and his internal struggles. And again, season 4 much more straightforward in what's going on. Season 5 is going to need to be a lot more delicate on how that's being handled. And from what I've seen so far in terms of the anime, like through like seasons 2 and 3 particular, I am a bit worried on that, but we'll just see how it goes. And also with season 5, especially what the latter half will be, there's going to be a lot of combat, a lot of battles, and like the DanMachi anime has its moments where like the animation really shines, but I still think the best animated stuff was the Minotaur fight in season 1. And then there are of course highlight segments after that, like season 2, I can think of like the fights against Aisha. Season 3, there's cool moments with like the fight against Dix, and also of course the final cut, the sequence between Belle and Asterius, which is like a minute long. But everything before that, it wasn't incredible. And this current airing season, there is an anime called Wistoria, Wand and Sword. It is a anime adaptation of a manga whose story is written by Fujino Omori, the same author of the DanMachi light novel series. He does the story for the manga, and someone else does the art. But if you've been keeping up with that anime this season, like the animation and cinematography is just like on a completely different level than DanMachi. And DanMachi is supposed to be the more popular franchise, so it's like, it's crazy to me, like how is this happening? And like in the middle of the season, they have this big fight that lasts the whole episode long, basically. And the animation like remained impressive throughout. It wasn't like a Asterius versus Belle situation where really the best animated segment was like the final minute. And again, like the cinematography and stuff is just on a different level. Like I can joke that there's like a little cameo appearance of Lafia and Philbus in Wistoria. And I made a little joke to myself, like, well, this is the best animated version of Lafia and Philbus. And it's not even in the DanMachi anime. It's a cameo appearance. Oh, that's a little joke. But yeah, like, I really hope season 5 does well. Like, there are really cool parts to it, but I think season 4 will remain probably the most highly rated and more loved season of DanMachi. But we'll just have to see what happens. Like, again, I'm hoping it does well, but I have mixed feelings on how it's going to go down. And also, like, the stuff I talk about that was skipped in season 2 from volume 8, like, it is continuing to hurt the anime. Like, the stuff that happened in season 2, what was skipped there, is continuing to hurt the anime. It did not affect season 4 as much, because a lot of that stuff was easily like lightly introduced in season 4, like Lubis and Dormal. The side story that was skipped from volume 8, it wasn't really too important for their characters. You kind of understood who they were when they showed that initial scene with them with Aina at the guild counter. You kind of understood their characters, and I liked what the anime did with them later on. The only part that really hurt season 4 was skipping Whelp's confession to Hephaestus. Whelp literally confessed his feelings to his former goddess, and the anime has not acknowledged that. And that was part of his motivation when he made his more permanent magic sword later on in season 4. But there is a particular side story in volume 8 that would be really important to know about heading into season 5. I don't know if they're going to try to address any of that content or not. They have not yet so far, but it's specifically the Seer side story. I'll link that in the description, but that might be something you want to look into before season 5 starts. But again, I'll be watching the anime as it's going on, and I may make a video or not, depending on how I feel about what's happening in the anime. But I feel like I might not talk about anything until at least we get to the second half of the show, which is what I'm looking forward to, which is specifically volume 18 content, because there are a lot of cool segments in there, and I hope they do them justice. But yeah, that's enough of me yapping about DanMachi. I don't want this video to be too long, because the whole point of this video was like, guys, I just don't have the energy anymore to be making content like I used to be. Now that I'm an old man at 30 years old. But yeah, guys, thank you all for the support up until now. I'll continue to be around, just not as much. But Lauren, you weren't even around for like 8 months. I know. I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, check out Gale Riot if you want to keep up with DanMachi. He's way more active than I have ever been, even when I was in my prime, I would say. But yeah, guys, that's what's going on with me and the channel. I guess I should still do the outro. Like the video if you like this video. Subscribe if you want to see more content eventually. Don't forget to follow me on my socials. And this is Lorne, your guild advisor, signing out.